I never talk much about where I live, but in this case, it does have some relevance to what's going on. I am in a one of the cities that surrounds Houston, Texas, and we were very close to the area that was under hurricane warnings for Hurricane Laura. It was kind of touch and go as to whether it was going to come here or go over into Louisiana. And as you know, it went into Louisiana and did some great damage to Lake Charles and took the lives of 6 people. Our sympathy goes out to the families of those 6 people and also to everybody who has had loss in Louisiana. And we travel there a great deal. There are a lot of wonderful people there, and we wish all the best of them as they rebuild something that we are not unaccustomed to on this side, but not to that extent. So our feelings and our thoughts and go out to them. This time we're going to talk about episode 4 of Lower Decks after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and today Moist Vessel is the name of the episode of Lower Decks. Now, without spoiling this, we're going to just say that the Cerritos and another ship of the same class are working together in bringing this terraforming ship, a very old, unoccupied by at least their pilots, terraforming ship, a generation ship, and they find that it has some interesting properties that become important later in the episode. The interesting thing, though, is that the captain of this ship is a friend of the captain of our ship, and she is initially embarrassed by Mariner, who happens to be in the room when they're talking, and then Mariner is given some treatment that is supposed to make her want to leave. Now, this is the episode of virtually every other episode of Gomer Pyle USMC, where they try to give Gomer worse and worse work, and he just enjoys it. Let's say that while Mariner is not one to enjoy work, she does find ways of having fun, and this shows in this episode. As usual, there is something that happens as a result that puts the ship in peril, and she is part of the help to make this work, as are our other ensigns that we see every week. Boimler is interested in promotions, we find, because he likes the perks that come with being an officer, including the better replicator food, including the macaroni and cheese that has the crumbles on top. So that's kind of the level of the jokes there. But the A story, which, like I say, we won't give away, is reasonably compelling. And the B story of Mariner is of some interest, but not crucial to everything else that's going on. As usual, there are some things in there that are a kind of identifiable, like how meetings are conducted. In my regular job, I go through meetings, and some of them are almost like what they depict on there. We also have some Easter eggs. They mention the Traveler, they mention the Q. They have a poker game in which all of the senior officers are playing poker, not very well. And then in one of the scenes, Boimler is in a conference room and there's a bowl of fruit and it has no apples. This goes back to Encounter at Farpoint, where the Groppler, the head of the planet that they were on, was offering Riker his choice of fruit, and there was every fruit you can think of in the bowl except for apples. So little things like this are kind of interesting in all of these episodes to find out about. So we have another love interest for Tendi, and kind of an interesting way done in very much like every romantic comedy is done, and so there's kind of a nod to romantic comedies of where you put two people in peril and they fall for each other, kind of thing. So that's kind of interesting there. We don't hear much of really of the other two ensigns. They have a scene each, but not of anything of any real merit. So that is what episode 4 of Lower Decks is this week. We'd like to see if you've noticed anything in it that you particularly liked or particularly didn't like, and let us know about it. So until then, and with thunder in the background, don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, don't go far.